Good afternoon, music world. John here from What's Spinning. I'm coming at you today to chat about this latest album from Wet Leg. They are a UK-based indie rock outfit. They've been at it for a few years now. The new one's called Moisturizer. And around the time of their 2022 debut album, their self-titled debut, there was a lot of hype around this thing, and I understood it as well. The singles they were putting out were fantastic, like Angelica and Chase Lounge. Also, there was the Wet Dream single, which was one of my top 50 of the year. And a lot of this record was just fun and flirty. There were some really memorable licks as well. For the most part, I did get the hype, but I did feel like consistency-wise, this wasn't the most concrete release of the year. I also don't think it was this monumental genre-defying shift that a lot of people kind of feel like it is. However, the album was still a blast, enough for me to stick around and see what the ladies and gentlemen were coming up with next. And honestly, there's been a lot of hype on this record as well, which once again has been brought to the table mostly because of great singles like CPR and Catch These Fists. And genuinely, it does me good to say that this record does do a lot more for me than their self-titled debut. Right off the bat, CPR is a killer intro. I didn't get a chance to react to this like the other two singles, but I'm kind of pissed that I didn't. The looming bass riff that we get here is fantastic, and Rianne's performance on this cut is just another great reason why she has become one of the most unstoppable frontwomen in indie. Her performance is freaky, it's a little sexy, and seeing her just lose it on this hook is fantastic. Yeah, the band has wasted no time at all getting back into that flirty yet feisty vibe. Not only that, but a lot of this record leans into some more post-punk elements, which is A-okay by me. Then you have Liquidize, which is just a really solid deep cut. It's just so streamlined and confident. It's got a really great sort of hypnotic instrumental that is just all built around another very memorable strummed riff, as well as another incredible bass riff as well. Sure, it's a little simple when you put it down on paper, but it does bring me back to a simpler time in these genres. And Catch These Fists, I mean, I'm not immune to it. It's one of the best indie rock and just rock in general singles that I've heard all year. The riff is frantic, it's sweaty, it's sexy as hell. Everything about this track just clicks. Do not be shocked if it ends in my top 50 singles for the year. Jennifer's Body, this is the kind of deep cut that I want to hear more of from Wet Leg. I love the bulky and sweaty riff and just that energy that this leads into just being so determined yet kind of freaky. It's all there. The guitar work on this entire record is solid, but the songwriting all around as well has really taken a big step up. And mangetout keeps that same vibe rolling. It's freaky, it's funky, it's super fun, and I do love just how eccentric their performances are coming off without really losing that flirty and feisty edge to it as well. I mean, my eyes were already in the direction of Wet Leg, but I prefer this record quite a bit. Now, I will say there are still a couple of moments here that do kind of get me out of my groove, like Davina McCall, for example, the final single driven towards this album. And honestly, my thoughts haven't changed on it. I still think it's maybe the weakest cut here. I don't mind Wet Leg getting a little bit breezy and carefree, but this is directionless. I mean, they are stripping away a lot of what I usually enjoy. I mean, the energy, the riffs, and because of that, this is just really bland. Especially because later on in the record, they prove that they could do this sound a lot better. Unfortunately, a lot of the same problems with Pokemon. It's mellow and sure, it's nice on the ears, but like without the big sweaty rips and this band's personality, this really goes to faceless very quickly. And You and Me at Home as a finale, it's okay. It's certainly not the worst thing I've ever heard from Wet Leg, but it's very chaotic, and the production, I'm not really sure what happened here. Why is everything coming off so tinny all of a sudden? I mean, the band's sound is usually a sort of controlled chaos, but this is just sloppy. Yeah, there's still definitely a couple of blips on the radar, but like I said, I think that the band is on a much more interesting path with this record, and I still would take a lot of these tracks more than the deep cuts on their self-titled debut. Like Pond Song, for example, hell of a deep cut. I love the swagger and charisma on display here. Really fantastic bass riff on this track, and Rianne's performance is one of her sexiest. It's pretty sweaty and mesmerizing as well, as this track is just a series of freakouts all building to the chorus. Pillow Talk is a little bit more rough and tumble. The drums hit hard, the absolutely wailing guitars are thrilling, and Rianne's performance here is her most wild and eclectic. Like, if you thought the album was playing it a little too safe, check this track out. Don't Speak has one of the most memorable guitar lines here, and the hushed vocal performance makes for an interesting duality. It's also borderline kaleidoscopic with this colorful atmosphere and the blasts of feedback we're getting. Honestly, it's one of the record's most euphoric moments. And 1121 is Wet Leg at their dreamiest and most stripped back. And Rian's vocals here absolutely soar over this thing. I mean, I feel like too much of this sound would get a little bit too sleepy, but for a late album cut and a different change of pace, this is really cool. I mean, I was already into the band's sound with their debut. I thought they could clean it up a little bit, but with their follow-up record, I feel like they are doing that. They're taking more risks. This is a much more eclectic record with a lot more detours, shows them trying out new sounds, and honestly, I think the songwriting and performances are a lot more interesting. It's still not perfect. There's still some blips on the radar, but yeah, I get the hype. This is a really solid rock record. I still wish they tightened things up, but still, I'm feeling a very strong 7 on this album. But let me know what you all think down below. If you liked the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, friends.